does Ned Kelly fit into the music scene, but specifically the jazz scene inside of Hong Kong?
Okay, well, I think as you know, Ned Kelly's actually first opened in December of 1972, December the 18th, 1972. And I think from that moment on, it got itself known as, I know that the original owner, the owner now, sorry Tom, the owner now, he tried all types of music and different jam sessions and bands, even singing waiters he had one point. And I think later on, after 2 or 3 years after it opened, then it got into the more traditional jazz, swing type of thing, which it's become known.
What instrument do you play here?
Oh, I play the drums. Yeah.
Excellent. How long have you been playing at Ned Kelly's?
On and off now, it's 29 years.
29 years.
Yeah. Because my father's a drummer, my uncle is a drummer. I got a couple of uncles is a drummer.
So drumming's in the family.
Oh yes, my father's a big band drummer.
So
he's good.
What sort of music do you prefer to play the most?
Well, now of course jazz, Dixieland jazz, or bebop jazz, and of course, you know, like all kinds of jazz. I love it.
Can you tell us a little bit about the jazz scene in Hong Kong?
Well, jazz scene in Hong Kong, we don't actually have much, you know, in Hong Kong.
What are your thoughts about the current state of Hong Kong music?
I mean, I play a lot of Dixieland jazz, yeah, but that's a lot of music like for Chinese people, like Canton pop and all that, you know, disco, but still, jazz is my favorite.
How do you see the music in Hong Kong's place in the world?
We got a lot of musicians, very good musicians. You know, when they're from the ship, they come to Hong Kong, they come and jam with us. You find a lot of good ones. Really, you get shocked and, you know, you learn something from them too.
And so in the 29 years you've been playing off and on at Ned Kelly's,
Yes.
do you feel that Ned Kelly's is the headquarters or the epicenter for jazz in Hong Kong?
Yes, I can say that. It is.
Is there one message that you would like to send to people that are not familiar with Ned Kelly's or with the jazz scene in Hong Kong?
Well, the only thing I can say is come on over.
Sounds great. And we'll go in and we'll hear some more music.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Robert, for talking to us.
Thank you.
Well, I've been a musician for more than 60 years now.
When did you leave the Philippines? When did you move away?
Well, when I came to Hong Kong, that's what I was telling you, that 1949. But after the war, I worked with the U.S. Show and dance music with some hospital in Tarawa, Okinawa, Japan, or something like that. I worked to Guam for 1 year, and then 1940, I don't feel happy about the place. That's why I came back to the Philippines, and then when somebody offered me to work in Hong Kong, well, I said it's better I try. That's why I was here up to now. I like Hong Kong because this is the safest place that I can know to be a musician.
Do you have any memorable stories from Ned Kelly's, from playing here?
Well, I was working naturally enough with this group for almost 11 years now. Well, off and on because I work in a ship for 6 years.
6
That's
years?
why it's 1 year, and then come back to Hong Kong 1 year. But after, when I reach my age 70, well, I have to. I know that in a ship you're only allowed to work there if you're 70 down.
Did you ever think of moving back? You said that Hong Kong is the safest place for you as a musician.
Yes, and because my family was here, my wife is Chinese.
Chinese?
I got 9 children here in Hong Kong.
And were there any memorable experiences from playing with the USO band during
Yeah,
the war?
yeah. When I was on the ship, because we always go straight to L.A. and then I meet most of the good musicians working they work in our ship sometimes. Also, I met Louis Armstrong during that time.
Really?
Here also, Louis Armstrong is the one who gave me the advice that very night. He gave a show here in 1957, and I was there also doing the alternate band.
Really?
That's why he gave me some advice, this and that. Until now, I'm still keeping it. In Hong Kong, one of the best places that you can play that what kind of music you want. We do everything here. That's what I can say. That's why I feel happy I was in Hong Kong and doing my job as a musician. That's it, I can.
And so, of all the places that you've played in the world, how does Hong Kong compare to the rest of the world?
I feel free in Hong Kong that I can do anything what I want. That's all I want. Music, everything, livelihood, I like Hong Kong better than anywhere else. Musician is a musician that all kind of music, you have to follow what kind of rhythm or what kind of jazz you're doing. Latin jazz, modern jazz, blues, or something like that. You have to feel, you cannot do blues in the Latin jazz, no. That's why I say you have to feel what you're doing.
Colin. Colin, you are the leader of the Ned Kelly's jazz band.
Yes, that's right.
Can you tell us a little bit about Ned Kelly's, how long you've been doing what you do?
Okay. Well, I first actually played here at Ned Kelly's when I was a musician on board the cruise ships. And we knew about this place then. It had quite a name then. That was back in 1986. So I came down with my trumpet over my shoulder and had a sit-in with the band then. Not known that eventually I'd become the band leader here. And I've been the band leader here now since full-time, since 1998. But I started here part-time, working every Sunday night from 1994. So it's already quite a few years.
And can you tell us about your experience being the band leader and what your role is as part of the institution of Ned Kelly's?
Well, okay. Basically, my role is to basically front the band and to try to get a smile out of the people after they've had a heavy day in the office, or they've been fired, or divorced, or they've found a new wife, or they've found a new girlfriend, or whatever the problem is. My job really is to go up there and to front the band and to try and get a bit of a laugh out of whoever is there. And it's amazing, the people who keep coming back to this place, Ned Kelly's, and treat it like a second home.
1, 2, 3, 4! And so you've played on a cruise ship and throughout Asia. I guess we just talked about kind of jazz in Hong Kong, but what about jazz as a type of music in the rest of Asia? You said in Korea and Japan presumably because of American influence, there is scenes, but how does Hong Kong play into a larger scene? How does Asia? Do you think that Asia is going to be a new hub for jazz, or do you think the prevailing mainstream music kind of dominates?
I think it's hard to say. I mean, I don't think, because there's so many different types of jazz. It's very. I mean, you've got now. There's so many. I mean, in my day, there was always sort of, you had your Dixieland and your New Orleans, you had your swing, you had your bebop, you had your jazz rock and your Latin jazz. Now you've got soft jazz, acid jazz, fusion. I don't know. To me, it's either jazz is improvisation at the end of the day. I mean, whether we're a Dixieland band or not, but the solos are improvisation.